I'll take you through using the review task move feature. First thing we want to do is download the appropriate version of AEM Commons. You'll need either 2.6.0 if you're on AEM 6.0 or 6.1, or if you're on AEM 6.2, then use 3.2.0. I'm going to get the min package here. Either package will work. Next, I'll want to go to my AEM author and go to Package Manager and make sure that I have upload and installed my content package for ACS Commons. So you can see I actually have it installed, but let me install it again. All right, now I've installed ACS Commons. Next thing I want to do is make sure that my review task event listener is enabled. So I'm going to go to system/console/config mgr, capital M, and I'm going to look for review task move handler. So we can see here, it's listed. I'll click on this. We're going to see that it's unbound or new configuration. That means this is not bound with a configuration, so it will not run. I have a few options, so I can set the default conflict resolution. So I have a few options here. And I can set the last modified by if I do choose new version. So I'll leave these as defaults and hit save. And now I will have this bound, which means my component will be active. So if we click on it again, we can see here now that we have a configuration binding, and that will ensure that this is actually running. The next thing we want to do is install the review task dialog overlay. So there is a package for 6.2 for this on the ACS Commons website for this particular feature. I've already downloaded that. I select it here and upload and install. And you can inspect this package or this node definition by going to this node. It essentially has 3 fields that we'll see in a moment to the review task wizard. All right, so now we should have everything we need to test this out. Assets. And let's run review on some geometrics assets here. So create. I'm going to create a folder named accepted, and these can be named anything you want. I'm going to name them accepted and rejected. Rejected. So any assets I accept, of course, will go in accepted. Any I reject will go in rejected. And let me go ahead and we are going to review some of these banners. So click on that, click review task. I have my dialog pop up here. I don't need to assign a project if I don't want to. Let me just assign it to the administrators group since that's who I'm logged in as. Here are the 3 new fields down here at the bottom that we've added via that package install. So we essentially choose where we want to move accepted assets. In this case, we'll pick the accepted folder. These do have to exist under content DAM. That is one restriction here. And we have a rejected folder. Let's put those there. And then we have 4 options in the case of conflict when I review and move an asset. And what this means is if I have something I'm reviewing and the accepted or rejected folder happens to have an asset with the exact same node name, what we have is a conflict because we can't move the reviewed asset to this destination folder with the exact same name. We have to resolve that conflict somehow. So there's 4 options that ACS Commons provides. Add the reviewed version and its metadata as a new version. Add it as a completely new asset. This will not delete the existing asset, but it'll actually create a kind of a unique prefix based on the date and time. We can completely replace it, so this will delete the asset that exists and replace it with a reviewed asset, or we can totally skip processing, and this will leave the reviewed asset in the original folder, and it will not touch the conflicting asset in the accepted or rejected. I'm going to choose add as new version since this is the default, and it's a pretty cool feature, and we can check that out. So let me go ahead and create the review task. Now I've created it, I can go to my notifications, click on my review task. If you wanted to, you could optionally even add those two fields as read-only to this particular screen, but that is its own node overlay, so you could figure out how to do that if you wanted. But let me go ahead and review. I have all the assets within my banners folder, so let's go ahead and pick some of these. I'm going to say I do not like these three. I don't like the style, so I'll reject those. While I do like this style, these horizontals with these gray overlays here, so I'm going to accept these or approve these. And I don't have to do everything, so I'll just leave the rest blank here. And maybe I want to create a new review test later and check these out, or have someone else check these out. But I want to get these moved into their appropriate folders now. So as of now, if I left, these would still be in the review folder because I've not completed this review task. So only upon a completion do these get moved to the appropriate folders. So let me go ahead and do that. Complete. All right. So let's go to geometrics here. And if we go to our accepted folder now, you'll see we have our 4 banners. This folder was empty, so we actually didn't get to see the review or the new version conflict resolution in action. But we can go ahead and do one more to check that out as well. But let's check rejected out, and we have our 3 skinny banners that we rejected that we didn't like so much. What we're going to do is we're going to find an existing asset. So yeah, let's do this. So we're going to go to banners. We're gonna get one of these. So I'm going to get the people with the phones here, and I'm going to move this and basically rename this to something that we already have in one of our accepted folders. I didn't pick the right folder here, so let's make sure we put in the right banner folder. So we're just doing move. Now we have our new Tech Summit JPEG that we're going to move into the accepted folder, and it's going to create a new version for us. So let's go ahead and just add a new review task here. Review task, and let's call it show off new version. Let's do this. Geometrics accepted. One other thing to note is you don't need to have the approve or move folder. So we can leave this blank if we know we're not going to do any rejection, or we just don't want to move rejected things anywhere. So we can leave it like this as well. Both of these are not filled out, then nothing will happen when you complete the review test. Nothing will be moved. They'll just be marked as accepted and rejected. So let's go ahead and start a new one here. Let's go into banners. Let's review it. So this is the one we wanted to approve and send to the accepted folder. So let's go ahead and do this. And what we should see is we should see a timeline. And we can see here that we had a new version review task approved, created, and look at that. We have both versions here. So we can see that we have the new version as well as the version that was previously in this folder. And if we wanted to, we could revert to this version. And we can go to view properties and all the metadata would come back. So it's called Tech Summit now instead of call center, as we can see. So there we go. We have a an approved asset, we've updated a version of an existing asset with the new approved binaries and metadata.